Hi, Sam.
Hi, Michael.
This is quite an honor, so thank you so much for giving us the time to do this. I did want to preface by saying one of my favorite performances of yours, which is a recent performance, was in A Star is Born, because you just gave so much. It's a very layered performance, and I guess you got a lot to work with that script. Here we are once again with 1883, where you're giving us a very layered performance in Shea in only 3 episodes so far. We've seen his pain and his anger, his frustration, his love, his passion. Is Shea one of the more expansive roles you've had in your career?
There's no question about it. I don't think I've ever had a role like this. I've headlined other shows over the years, but I've never headlined a 10-hour show. It's like doing a 10-hour film, this thing. If you see it and when you see it, the look of it, the expanse of it, the size of it, this is not typical television fare by any means. It's a monstrosity of a project in terms of the cast, in terms of the money they're spending, in terms of the size of the crew, in terms of the locations. And it's also a very difficult shoot. But again, it's definitely one of the biggest things I've ever been involved in. Yeah, I've played these kind of characters before, but there's a lot more going on in Shea's head than there have been in other cowboys that I've played. He's number one, he's a veteran of the Civil War. Number two, he loses his family right off the top in the first episode. And number three, he's got these, he's got this contingent of immigrants that he's taking care of, showing the way, guarding along the way, and he's sensitive to those losses. He has great compassion for these people. That said, at the same time, he'll shoot a guy for stealing something. I think other Western characters that I play seem to be a little one-dimensional in some ways, if that's fair. Maybe not Virgil in Tombstone, but some of the other ones maybe not so interesting as Shea is. That's been the fun of it, and that's been the challenge of it, to do justice to Taylor's script. That's really the challenge, I think, for all of us. You get a piece of brilliant material like Taylor Sheridan gives you. You want to do justice to it.
Taylor Sheridan has made quite a name for himself recently, pretty much within the genre of Western as well, with Hell or High Water and Yellowstone, and now this show. All the spin-offs that are planned for this Yellowstone universe. You're no stranger to this genre. What is it about Taylor's work that spoke to you, or perhaps even the script when you got to read it for the first time?
The first few pages of that script there's no dialogue in them. It's just painting the picture. It's a powerful beginning for this character of mine, in which he loses his family right off the bat. And I was pretty blown away just by that, because I happen to have a family. Shea has a wife and daughter, and I have a wife and daughter as well. So it caught me right away. And in the ensuing scripts that kept coming my way as Taylor wrote them, he sent them on to me. It just, I knew right away that there was no way that I was not going to do this project. I had a lot of reservations for different reasons, most of them physical. But there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to do this. 4 horses to your wagon. What are you hauling? Moving pretty fast. I guess it's empty and they're filling it up in town and headed. I've been fortunate to do some, what I think are pretty decent Westerns over the years. And I always thought maybe one of those was going to spur other people on to do them. There was a time early on in my career where I had a couple of projects that I tried to put together, and I went around town shopping them, and nobody was interested in doing a Western at that time. It's just, I think it's just the nature of the business, the nature of the beast, so to speak. It's cyclical in some ways. It's rapidly changing today, obviously, because of the digital world that we're in. And now this whole streaming service that's going on. I think there's a real lack of content because of the streaming services, and I think they're willing to gamble on anything at this moment. You know, so why not a Western? We started out and it was like 106, 107 degrees in Fort Worth, Texas, every day for a long period of time. We were there for about 6 weeks when we began. We're all wearing wool jackets, particularly all the immigrants have layers and layers of wool clothing. There was really very little relief from the sun. So we were cooking down there. And then we went up to Montana and we're working in the low teens because of, you know, wind chill factors and so forth off the snowy mountain range that surrounded the area we were in. So it's been a difficult one, but it should be difficult considering what the story's about. You know, nobody's laying around in their trailers on this thing. Everybody's there and everybody's giving it their all. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about the crew as well as the cast. It's a well-oiled machine, and we're all working together and we're all focused on the end product.
Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.